Let's talk about some portfolio positioning then. You like the dollar bulls, longs against the euro, the Aussie dollar, the New Zealand dollar. What have we got here? The Australian dollar, as I say, the South African rand, the Korean won. So it's only going to be a one-way story, is it, from here for the dollar, in spite of the fact that we're already at recent peaks?
I'd love it if it was only a one-way story, Jeff, but I fear that it won't be quite so easy. Now, the market is not letting the dollar bear thesis go easily. I think that the issue with the dollar bull thesis is that it tends to squeeze financial conditions globally. It tends to be a problem for financial markets, I think, more than necessarily economies. My model of the world is that with a large current account surplus regions and large regions around the world, you have a lot of, for want of a less pejorative description, you have a lot of mercantilist business models globally, and those economies struggle when their currencies are strengthening, and obviously a weak dollar means stronger currencies elsewhere. So economically, I don't see that as a stable equilibrium at the moment, not until the likes of China and the Eurozone can resolve their domestic demand issues. So a strong dollar, I think, is economically more stable, but it tends to be more destabilizing for financial markets, particularly emerging markets. And so the market wanting to cling on to this sort of risk-on environment for as long as it possibly can struggles with the idea of a stronger dollar, because that tends to be a bit of a problem for that risk-on thesis. So the market isn't letting go of the weak dollar thesis easily. So I do think we will see ebb and flow, but broadly speaking, I see two future states of the world as being most likely. One is that, things are as good as the market hopes in terms of growth expectations for next year, a bit of normalization of inflation, but that will mean the Fed will be taking away the punch bowl from next month onwards, really. And that should support the dollar. Conversely, if my more miserable outlook is closer to correct and we see growth disappointing relative to expectations, then I think we could see some headwinds for risk assets, a bit more volatility, the likes of which we've seen in the last few days and weeks, and that would tend to support the dollar as a flight to quality play.